Thanks for finding the time. Good morning. How are you?
Oh man, half the day has already gone by for me. I'm well. Thank you for the awesome introduction. Really appreciate that.
Absolutely. So I'll ask you this just first off the top because I know you split time between LA and New Orleans working alongside Drew Holiday. How do you make a guy like Drew Holiday a better basketball player at this point in his career?
90% of it comes from God, God-given ability. He was born genetically with the gifts to be one of the best, basketball players on the planet. But it's just harnessing that talent and giving him education and direction, I think, is the biggest important factor for us, making sure that he cleans his nutrition up, learns the value of sleep, and then from there, it's just my job to not mess him up. Exactly. Physically, he's born with these gifts, so trying to dictate what type of program he should experience is really the easy part. It's the other 23 hours that he's not with me is the hard part. So for me, that's pretty much the game, the name of the game for most of these guys. They're just extremely talented athletes that you want to just try to educate and mold so that, they learn more about themselves and how to better themselves away from.
You mentioned the sleep training. We were debating last segment on the temperature in which sleep was best at. Do you go into that almost as far as consulting your guys on the temperature that they sleep in overnight?
Absolutely. A lot of the research points to less than 68 degrees Fahrenheit. So 68 or below is kind of where we try to aim for.
What?
Yeah.
Because look, LSU's basketball coach Will Wade said he suggests to all his guys that they sleep in 64-degree temperature.
True? Is that true? You got confirmation on that?
Got confirmation.
Oh my God, 64? You're gonna freeze out.
I've heard as low as 64, but that might be a little frosty
extreme
for most people. But yeah, 60. I go 68. Anything below 70 is going to be ideal. 68 is kind of my mark.
See that, T? You're a sociopath.
I mean,
not really hard.
I'm not maximizing my recovery here. I got to bump it down 2 degrees. Talking to Mike Guevara, performance coach and consultant here on Off the Bench, 1 over 500, we're doing 94.7. You've been working with Drew. You've also been working with AD. We love Anthony. We went through a bit of a rough breakup there, but it's all good now. We got Zion. Like, life's good for Pelicans fans. It's all cool. How are you thinking? How's AD feeling about this upcoming season, man, out there in LA with LeBron?
I think AD has definitely taken a different approach this summer by working with me. His mindset has definitely changed. He is committed 100%. The fact of the matter is Drew and AD are friends first, teammates or ex-teammates second, and they push each other. And if anyone is going to make Drew a better athlete or make the group better, I'm all about it. And that's exactly what's happened. The chemistry has been nothing but amazing.
Wow.
The competitive atmosphere has been nothing but amazing. And, we just put all the distractions that everyone else talks about outside of the weight room and the gym. We don't talk about none of that stuff. We focus on the work and being great, and that's exactly what's happened. So, in my opinion, my humble opinion, I think AD is definitely feeling confident, feeling good about the offseason. We still have 4 weeks left, and we will continue to maximize that time.
I just retweeted your latest video over on Twitter, and his Twitter handle, you can find her at Mr. Do It Moving, at Mr. Do It Moving on Twitter. In fact, you can find him on all social media platforms at that handle. So we see AD, we see Drew Holiday in a lot of the videos, but another guy that's around and looks like he's having a different offseason for him is Jahlil Okafor. Tell us about what's going on with Okafor, because it looks like his body is transformed, and then some of the video that's put out, his game looks really sharp this summer.
A lot of that credit goes to Coach Mike Penberthy. Prior to him coming over to the West Coast with the Lakers, obviously he was with the Pelicans, and he has been a long-time basketball technical coach for Drew. So Jahlil also wanted to come into the offseason with us, share our workouts with us, and he is committed. Again, the major piece behind all of what I do is the education factor, trying to make guys understand their bodies and how important it is to do all the right things away from me. He has committed to that 100%. He asks questions. He's very inquisitive. He's very knowledgeable about himself, and he understands the value of nutrition, hydration and sleep, recovery, all these things that you have to do on your own. And I think that's what you see. I think that the end product of a basketball player doing what he does on the court is not just basketball work. It's an accumulation of things that are started off the court. And he is committed. He looks amazing. He's moving amazing. His mind is super healthy and positive, and he's in a great place. And every time you see him in a video or picture, he's smiling. And I think that also has a big part of it. He's around his brothers. He's around people he loves. And here is the end product. Be excited about his production this season.
Mike, I want to kind of ask you about your process because I've had plenty of strength coaches in my life or kind of like trainers. Some just go like the pure meathead route, like, oh, we're going to lift heavy, this we're going to do. And those are not the best guys. The best guys are the ones that almost combine like being a kind of meathead with science, right? With the latest technology. So how do you approach these workouts with these like singular athletes like AD and Drew that maybe need more personal attention? How are you putting together your plan for them?
Very true. I think the horizon of strength and conditioning and performance is changing. It's evolving from that meathead approach to more scientific-based movement approaches. I think at the end of the day, when you look at sport and how you train athletes, you have to design a program that meets the demands of said sport. Not all sports are created equal. Movement demands are different. Energy systems are different in terms of, is it more cardiovascular? Is it more power? And I think that because experts are researching and doing scientific research to give to us as coaches, we have a better handle on how to approach these situations. And then you just got to watch. You just have to be a fan of movement. Being able to watch, dissect, and enjoy movement of sport is a big part of my job, and I love basketball. I used to be a football guy. I started with NFL.
Yeah.
You mentioned tennis, and became really, really geeky and sciencey about watching athletes move. And now all I do is watch basketball. I'm not even an NFL fan anymore, unfortunately, because my mind is so consumed with basketball.
Wow.
And now, as it applies to performance and training, you have to understand at the end of the day, basketball players are not weightlifters. First of all, the culture of basketball doesn't even include weightlifting. You have to convince a basketball player to want to lift weights.
Wow.
And give them the reasons of why that is and how that's going to help their game, because all they want to do is play. If you look at the culture of football, as we all know, we are bred and born to lift weights because it is a part of our culture.
Yeah,
we eat weights for breakfast because we think that, bench pressing 225 30 times is going to make us better at football, which, as we all know, not necessarily. However, basketball, they don't pick up a weight usually until their first year of college. And then the good ones only spend half of a year at their college. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how long or how much experience do they truly have with lifting weights? Did they get buy-in? Did they get explanation of why it's good for them? So, me getting NBA basketball players is like a blank canvas. Luckily, I'm able to communicate pretty well with these guys, get them to understand why, how, and what to do, and then apply said scientific research that you mentioned before to the training program. So a lot of it isn't even that difficult in the sense that because we're getting such young training ages with NBA basketball players, there's not a lot of difficult, complex things they need to do. They just need to learn how to lift weights in general, and we kind of go from there.
Website's at CoachMikeG.com. The social media handle is at Mr. Do It Moving. You can find it there. We'll be retweeting his stuff all throughout the day and have this up. I got 45 seconds left. Real quick, David Griffin said that Drew Holiday can be the MVP of the league this year. You're his personal trainer. You believe that?
Oh, 1,000%, and then some. You already know that. You know the answer to that question.